What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, we're coming back to Bruce Springsteen. Yes, indeed, Bruce Springsteen Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from JFK, and this is actually one of JFK's 3 prioritized requests for the month of July for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, JFK. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. JFK want to see me react to this is Bruce Springsteen with a tune called Waiting on a Sunny Day. Now, have I heard the song before? The title sounds familiar. Waiting on a Sunny Day. That sounds familiar to me. But thinking about it, I'm trying to get a melody in my head to match up with it, and nothing is coming to mind. So I'm going to assume I haven't heard this before, but there is a chance that I have. So I don't know. I won't know until I start listening. But as always, if I start listening to the song and I go, oh yeah, that's it. There it is. Yeah, I recognize that song now. I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by The Rocker Paris. Okay. The Rocker Paris. Sure, why not? And the video has 1 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Bruce Springsteen, Waiting on a Sunny Day, Paris, Bercy 2, July 5th, 2012. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Careful, kid. Whoa! A Barry sax solo? You don't hear that very often. Back up a tad. Give the man his due. Okay. Very simple song. Very easy song to follow along with. But there's nothing wrong with that because the crowd knows it. Clearly they know it. One of the reasons they probably know it is because it is such a simple song. Very recognizable, very relatable. So nothing wrong with that. It's being done well. If I'm being honest with you, the sound quality on this video is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's a fan cam, you know, it's a phone video, and those are never going to have very good quality as far as audio goes. At times it's a little hard to hear what's going on because, you know, we're surrounded by people who are all cheering and clapping, and it can get rough. So I'm going to do the best I can. From what I am hearing and from what I can tell, it sounds like everybody's playing well. It sounds like everybody's doing a fine job with their playing. So I got no issue with anything that's being done musically. Seeing Bruce going back and interacting with the back, with the people behind the stage, always a good thing to see. He did that several times when Mrs. Heretic and I went to see him at the Kia Forum. We saw him do that several times. But he's moving around the back. He's going, you know, he's covering everything. He started like over here somewhere, I think. And he's now way over there on the other side over here somewhere. Camera zooming in over here on Patty. I have a question. I didn't get a chance to ask this during my concert review with Mrs. Heretic. She was a member of the touring band for a long time. What happened? Why did she stop touring? She came out for a couple songs, and from what I was understanding from the comments, that's a pretty rare thing nowadays. Is she like retired, semi-retired? If so, why? What was the reason? I'm curious. I hope everything's okay. I'd like to know what the reasoning is. Did she say, you know what? I've had enough of the road. I'm going to stay home and take care of the house. Is that it? Is it really that simple? I don't know. I have no idea. Hopefully people in the comments will let me know because I am genuinely curious. No, but overall, I think it's a fine job. I don't hear anything bad. I don't hear anything wrong. I mean, like I said, the audio quality, not the greatest, but it's getting the job done. So let's keep going here. Barry sax solo. Let's hear it. Nice job with that very sax solo. That's fun. Right, Jay? Always watching for the visual cues. Yep. I have mixed feelings. As always, I'm probably going to say some things that are going to upset people and trigger people, but hey, they're my opinions. They're what I think, what I feel, what I believe. So, you know me, I'm not going to hold it back either. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Bruce Springsteen with Waiting on a Sunny Day. This was a request from JFK, and this was actually one of JFK's 3 prioritized requests for the month of July for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, JFK. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. I wrestled with this. Not so much from what I'm gonna say. I already know exactly what I'm gonna say about this. But I wrestled with this from a score standpoint, which for Bruce Springsteen is very unusual for me. Usually I'll come up with a score and it sits. This is a weird one though for me because I have a baseline. I know where I want to be around, but I don't know if this is the actual score I'm going to stick with. It may go up a couple of points. It may go down a couple of points. When I mean points, I don't mean whole numbers. I mean like it may go down like 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3, or it may go up 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3. I don't know. This is where I'm kind of hovering right now. I always kind of seem to come back to this score. So I have a feeling this is the score I'm going to stick with, but I'm not 100% sure. I may change my mind during the course of my evaluation. So, but we're going to start with this score and we're going to go from there. And like I said, by the time the video's done, we may very well have a different score. But let's start off here first. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.1. Yep, 7.1. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, the 7.1. What does that mean? Well, a 7.1 will translate to a really good scale rating, okay? It would translate to 4 to 5 stars, and it would translate to a B letter grade. So there you go, a 7.1, really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with this score? Okay, remember folks, we may be here at the end, we may not be. I haven't come up with an actual finalized score yet. But so far we're at 7.1. We may move around. So glad you asked how this is working out. The song itself is very simple. Very easy progression to follow. A very simple and easy chordal progression to anticipate. You could feel it. You could feel exactly where each chordal progression was gonna go. You saw it. I mean, you could feel it. Okay, we're gonna go to here, down, and then we're gonna go down again, and then we're gonna come up. You know, it was very, very simple and very easy to follow, and like I said, very anticipatable. Now, is there anything wrong with that? No, There's nothing wrong with that at all. How many hit songs do we know that you can feel it? You can feel like there have been a number of hit songs where you've heard it for the first time and you're like, I knew it was gonna go there. I saw that coming. You know, it happens. Why? Because the formula works. It has been proven time and time again with other songs that follow the same chordal progression and they turn out to be hit songs. So, surprise, surprise, follow the formula, you know, and it works, you know. It doesn't have to be in the same key. We could change the key. Doesn't have to be in the same time signature. We could change the time signature. Instead of doing 4/4, we could do 3/4, or how about 6/8? You know, you could change a lot of things around, but the basic pattern will still follow. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. They did a great job of doing it, as a matter of fact. I really enjoyed the tune. Easy to rock out to, easy to flow along with, easy to groove to, no problem whatsoever. As far as the musicianship goes, okay, now here's where things get a little complicated. The audio quality on this video, let's just be honest here, okay? The audio quality in this video was trash. Okay, let's call a spade, okay? It was absolute trash. It's a fan cam. It's a phone video from, what was it, 2012, 2014? Guys, cameras nowadays on phones, 10 years later, 12 years later, much better. The microphones in particular, much better. They're now designing phones with stuff like this in mind. See, people back in the early 2010s, like 2012, 2013, 2014, when people were designing phones, they didn't have the idea of using these phones to capture movies in mind. They were manufacturing cell phones to do what? Make phone calls, okay? So everything else was just kind of bonus points. Now they're designing phones with making movies, with taking pictures, with recording audio in mind. So they have much better components in there, better quality components in there. So nowadays, 2023, 2022, 2024, it's going to be a better quality, hands down. But back in 2012, 2014, no. Especially when you're in the crowd, picking up all the crowd noise around you. That makes it even tougher. And to be honest with you, a lot of the stuff that was happening with the audio was blowing the mic out. As a result, you heard a lot of volume drops and a lot of clips and a lot of peaks, and it was rough to listen to, man. It really was. But I was able to get enough to get the gist of what was happening. And like I said, from a musicianship standpoint, it sounded like everybody did a fine job. Gotta give a special shout out to that Barry sax player. Look, I love Jake, don't get me wrong. I think Jake is a great tenor sax player. He really knows how to make that tenor sax sing. But seeing the Barry sax come out and get a solo spot, that was cool. And he did a nice job with that solo sax, with the Barry sax solo. Bruce walking around the stage, going and checking out the back. Always fun to see that. Mrs. Heretic and I saw him do that several times when we went and saw him at the Kia Forum. He, at least 4 or 5 times, he would go in the back and sing to the crowd in the back, which is a good thing because, listen, those people back there, they paid the same, well, they didn't pay the same amount of money, I'm sure, as the people who were out in the front. But, you know, they still paid their hard-earned money, and they should definitely get their money's worth when it comes to the show. So Bruce understands this, and he took it upon himself to go back and entertain the back of the audience as much as he possibly could. Cool, got no issue with that. I'm glad to see him do it. Okay, here we go. Here's where people are gonna get really upset with my opinion here. The girl. I'm just gonna flat out say I don't think she was a plant. She required way too much instruction. She had to be led everywhere. So do I think she was a plant? No. Bruce reached out to her. She didn't just come up on the stage like it was planned. You know what I mean? So he actually went out, reached out his hand, took her hand, and pulled her up. Could she be a plant for that? She could be, but I'm gonna be honest with you folks, I very seriously doubt it. She looked like a deer caught in the headlights. I mean, she went up. I'm gonna give. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna critique her, yes, but I'm also gonna give her praise. So, for those of you who are just waiting to stab me through the eyes, Hold on, okay? I promise you, it's gonna all even out. She did come up. Give her props for that. She didn't back off. She didn't say no. She didn't decline. She had the courage to get up there on the stage in front of everybody. Okay, I will absolutely give credit where credit's due. She looked terrified. She absolutely did. She looked nervous. Now, I don't know how old she was there. She could be 11, 12, 10. I don't know. I'm not exactly 100% sure. But yeah, I will give her props. You know, not many kids in that situation would handle it as well as she did. Did she look nervous? Yes. Did she look scared? Yes. Did she crumble? No, she didn't crumble, boy. She didn't fold like a deck of cards. She got up there. Yeah, she was scared, but she did the best that she could, and she performed. So you gotta give credit right there, because I'm gonna be honest with you folks, maybe 10% of adults could do what she did. Maybe 10%. There have been so many studies done on public speaking. It's the biggest fear. It's the most common, largest fear among adults, public speaking. I can't relate. I love speaking in public. I love being in front of crowds. The bigger the crowd, the better. I'm weird, okay? I'll be the first to admit that. But I love being in front of big crowds, but most people don't. Most people are terrified of it, especially adults. It's actually funny, the study shows that more adults are afraid of public speaking than kids are. Kids don't have that anxiety yet. So I will give her credit. Absolutely, she got up there, scared, yes, but she still got there and she still took the mic. Bruce offered her the mic. She didn't shy away. She questioned, she's like, are you sure? Okay, if you're gonna offer it to me, and she took it. Gotta give her applause for that too. Absolutely. Can she sing? Nope. No. She can't carry a tune in a bucket with the lid stapled shut. She was out of tune like the entire time. It was pretty bad, but it was hard to listen to, man. She could not sing in tune to save her life, but she sang. Out of tune, yes, but she sang. How many adults can say that they would sing if Bruce Springsteen gave you his microphone and asked you to sing in front of, I don't know, 30,000 people, 28,000 people? How many people were in that crowd at the time? How many adults would have the courage and the guts to actually do that? I know I would, but most people wouldn't. 90% of adults, absolutely not. They would not even, 90% of adults wouldn't even get up on the stage. Out of the 10% that would be willing to get up on the stage, maybe 10% of those might actually have the courage to take the mic and do anything with it. So that's 1%, okay? So of all adults, the 10% of 10%, that's 1%. Do the math. The math adds up. So again, I will give her the credit for doing it, having the guts to do it, absolutely. She might want to take some singing lessons, some music lessons, so maybe she can sing in tune, but she still did it. So credit to her. Gotta give a shout out to doing the slide. I saw that coming. When he came over and took the sponge and, watered down his knees and then watered down her knees, I knew exactly what they were gonna do. I just wasn't sure how they were gonna pull it off. It was good to see Bruce say, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna run and we're gonna slide and we're gonna go down on our knees. He gave her a lot of instruction. Again, pointing to the fact that I don't think this was a plan. I don't think this was planned because he had to lay out a lot of instruction. Now, if he hadn't done that, let's say they had gone back, wet down the knees, came up to the front and immediately went into the slide. That would raise some question marks with me. I'm like, how did she know to do that? How did she know that was what they were gonna do, But she had no clue. and Bruce took a significant amount of time to explain to her, this is how it's gonna work. Are you ready? Ready? Put the mic down, hold hands. He held her hand and led her. So, do I think it was a plan? No. There's just too many things pointing to the fact that it didn't look like a plan. It wasn't executed like a plan. It didn't act out like a plan. So I don't think she was a plan. Kudos to her for, again, having the courage to run and do the knee slide. Listen, I won't do a knee slide. I've never tried to do a knee slide because I am terrified of hitting the ground on my knees and A, hurting my knees, number one. Number two, what happens if my knees get caught on something and I end up face planting, you know, nose first. This is gonna go, trust me, this is what's gonna hit the stage first, and that's gonna hurt. So I've been asked to do it and I've declined. I said, nope, I am not doing it. So right there, she's got me beat. I wouldn't even attempt it. She didn't just attempt it, she did it pretty well. So good for her. And I give credit where credit's due. She has one up on me there, that's for sure. Him picking her up, bringing her back out to the crowd, that was fun to see. And listen, in closing, when it comes to this part, she is gonna remember that the rest of her life. She's gonna tell her grandkids and possibly her great grandkids, if she's lucky enough and fortunate enough to ever experience that joy to have great grandkids. This is a story that she will be able to tell them forever. And they're gonna look at her like, okay, well, her kids may look at her like, that's really cool. Her grandkids and her great grandkids are probably gonna go, who's Bruce Springsteen? You know, it's a shame, but it's a possibility. No, but that's something that she is going to remember the rest of her life, and she's going to take to her grave. So that's really cool. And like I said, do I think that's a plant? No, I don't think so. Number one, Bruce reached his hand out to pull her up on stage. So that right there, number one, is a dead giveaway. She was invited up. She didn't just jump up and no security was around to stop her. No, she was invited up. So that number one's a dead giveaway. Too many things saying that wasn't a plant. It was fun to watch. It was absolutely fun to watch. Did it add to the score at all? As much as I would like to stay objective on this, I'm gonna say, yeah, it did affect the score a little bit. It did bring it up a tad. Because, number one, you guys know I'm a sucker for kids, okay? You guys know I am. When it comes to kids, I'm an absolute sucker for them. And, you know, seeing them get opportunities like this always makes you feel good. And if it doesn't make you feel good, you might want to have the doctor check and make sure that you have a heart and you have a soul, because that you gotta appreciate moments like that where kids are gonna have their lives literally changed in that moment. So
Oh, and that's just precious.
I'm wrestling with that score again, man. I am.
2 hours later.
No, I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna stay with that 7.1. I'm not gonna change it. No, I'm gonna keep it there. I kind of want to change it, but I want to change it on impulse and on an emotional impulse. I'm not gonna do that. I gotta stay objective. Stay objective. 7.1. Yes, I'm just gonna stay there. So yeah, 7.1. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in Nice Shiny Bow before I change my mind. 7.1, which equals a really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.